Hey gang, Rod at East Coast Lumberjack, and we're way down in the States. Well, way down for me. We're in New Hampshire at a lumberjack competition, Dark Horse Lumberjack Show. And gotta get this video out for this weekend, so we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm making an East Coast Lumberjack. It's an American felling axe pattern, and it's a long one. It's out of hickory, and we're putting in an old axe. It's a splitting axe for Pete Gilbert. So anyways, this is the intro. We're going to jump right into it. Hope you like it. See you next week. And shout out to Pete, Peter Gilbert. Good buddy of mine. He's down there in Smyrna, Maine. And he's hanging around with some really cool people down there. And we're going to make a trip down there and see him and visit some of his friends. Now this here's his axe. It's got an LG on it. Use it for splitting a lot. We got to take that out. He just wants it re-wedged, but there's a lot of run out in this handle. If you look at this handle here, you can see the run out the whole way down it. Okay, which we know is not good. So because Pete's a buddy, I'm gonna pop that sucker out and put a nice long hickory in it. I'll tell you the one to put in that. Well, let's see if it's long enough. The one to put in that would be this one here. The vintage one. 3 inches too short. 3 inches too short. I might have another one over here. Oh, I have two. Boy, it's an ash, but it looks like it's long enough. Just about. It's just about long enough. It's a nice ash handle. Get a little bit of a sweep in it. Look at that. Didn't know that. This one here, this is a American felling axe. How long is that? It's a little short too. So we'll put. Oh, there's one. There we go. There we go. This is a good one for him. American felling axe. Number 1 is hickory. Number 2, it's longer than the Holton Road. It's even longer than his, so that'll be good. And it's an American felling axe pattern. Okay, so he'll appreciate that. So we will put this handle in that axe, and maybe we'll do that. Let's do that. While we're here, I've got the other orders waiting, but let's show you replacing this one. So bring it down, hang on to your ears. Okay. So Pete, we're gonna take this puppy out. We're gonna show everybody how we're gonna do it. So the first thing we do, get this wedge out. Now there's a nail or something right there. So we're gonna coming out tall. Let this wedge will come out. Oh, looks good. There we go. Pair of pliers. Pop that puppy right out. Now it's a maple wedge. It's breaking up a bit. Only half it left in there now. Okay, starting to come. All of it is starting to come now. There we go. That might bring it. There we go. So, there's the rest of it. It was a nail. maple wedge. And it's either an oak or hickory handle. One of the two, so it shouldn't slide off now. Almost. So all I do is take my axe drift and drift it out of there. So that will go back to Pete. He can reuse it if he wants. You can see the scarf wasn't overly straight in that wedge slot. Well, that's all right. So let's use. Let me put that. There it is, right there. Okay, so it's 8-sided. So I'll take my little hook out of it. I always reuse those. So American felling axe pattern. Found that online actually. And it was a cool looking pattern. It was vintage America. And of course I make a lot of handles for American customers. I thought they may like that. And they didn't just like it, they love it. I've made quite a few of them. They have this very unique, the American felling axe has a really unique, and I find it's funny, sometimes people order it and say, put a fawn's foot on that. No, I'm not. The American felling axe is unique because it has this little, it's got this sweeping pattern in the handle down here, and it's really fat, okay? So it's got a real big flare, okay? And obviously, if it's a felling axe, that's what it's for. Now, I'm going to do a video eventually on holding a chopping axe, when you swing a chopping axe, and how to hold it. But a little bit of sneak preview, okay? The reason you put a big palm swell on the end of an axe like this, a felling axe or a chopping axe, is so you don't have to death grip it, okay? So, the reason I believe, and yes, I have lots of bias, but I come by it honestly. So a handle like this with very little flare, okay, it feels like it's going to go out of your hand, okay, it does. And especially if you have a glove or a mitten on, it's going out of your hand. So, what has to happen is when you're using this axe, you've got to grip it a little tighter so it doesn't go out of your hand. So you wind up putting a lot more strength into this and less into the swing. Same as when you're chopping. Guys that are death gripping, okay, and their power, usually they're younger competitors, okay? And Yukon, if you guys are watching this, listen up, okay? If you're putting all your strength into holding onto the axe, you're not going to swing as accurately. Number one, your axe is going to go down. Number two, your axe is going to scoop. And anytime, any chopper that I know of anywhere in the world, you know, that competes professionally, sees a guy scooping, the first thing they say, lay off on the death grip. Okay, the first thing they say, because you're death gripping the axe. And when you death grip it and it hits like that, it scoops. Okay? When the axe hits, you should be able, it should follow its weight. The weight of the head should push that right into where the head is cutting. And if you're death gripping it, you tend to turn that. Okay? That's what's causing the scoop. So, little handles like this will cause it. Gripping too tight causes it. Now, there's two reasons for gripping your axe too tight. Number one, it's too fat, and you have to try to hold on to it.
or it's too small and you're trying to keep a grip on it. Okay, those things there will cause you to grip an axe more, which is why I do not like the hardware store axe handles. Okay, and the puny little palm swells on them. Okay, this screams production. Yes, I come off a production line. Somebody's rushing to get me out the door, make a few bucks. Big flares like that. Now again, the reason you can do this, the reason you get away with a small flare is because it takes less wood. And you're going to get a lot more handles out of the same amount of wood. So I get it all, okay? I get that. You're making $1. This takes a lot more wood, okay? That's why I cut mine 2.5 inches when I split it. Takes a lot more wood to put that palm swell on there. But what it does, you can hold the axe a lot easier. You don't have to death grip it. If you just close your hand, that big flare means it can't slide out of your hand anyhow. So swing away, swing away. The beauty of a nice large palm swell, okay? Custom handles, large palm swells, that's what they give you. That's the beauty of them. So, tip from the East Coast Lumberjack. If you're using a handle and you're chopping with it, do not death grip it, okay? If you squeeze too tightly, number one, you're going to scoop. Number two, all your strength is going to go in. And number three, you'll be wearing a band on your arm. Okay, those little, that's what they give you for, it's called tennis elbow. Okay, in tennis, when you're holding onto that racket, that's why you get tennis elbow. Okay, you're squeezing that and it's causing, your tendons you're stretching and causing all kinds of issues with your tendons. And that's what happens. Same thing with an axe. When you're chopping, so all I'm doing, I'm taking all the little bumps out from the band saw. The felling axe pattern is a little more rounded than what my other chopping handles are. A little more rounded, fits the handle a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say better, but a little more. It just fills it out. It's rounded. Okay, I like my handles oblong. Okay, narrow this way and thick this way, because I can feel where the edge is up there. Okay, I like that. The felling axe pattern, you don't get that as much because it's a little bit more rounded. So a little harder to do that. But Peter, I know you're splitting wood with this, so I know that's not the end of the world for you. We're just going to round this out. Yeah, it's pretty good. There we are. Stanley Sureform. Greatest little invention, man-made. And all I'm doing is just going to round out my handle. And round out the back of it. So you're sweltering everywhere else. We're in the basement right now because it's flipping hot out. And I typically don't wear dress shirts when I'm in the basement. I'm always wearing a t-shirt. But it's so blistering hot, this little dress shirt's a whole lot easier on the body temperature. So we're putting the characteristic. I always put a bevel on the end of my axes, so that's what we're doing right there. Okay, that's a nice palm. I know Peter's hand's a little smaller than mine, so I'm going to thin that in here just a whisker, so to fit his hand a little bit nicer. Not worry about my big mitt. I'm not going to be able to.
much nicer. And then of course we're going to finish it off with the Nicholson. It's got to be getting close to dinner time. My belly's saying, I'm hungry. My belly don't lie. There she's coming down. Okay, now up near the top here, it sweeps out a little bit. Okay, that's where it sweeps out. And it's pretty hard to do with this one here. So really the tool for that is the Sureform, because it goes around those corners so slick. Smooths them out in a heartbeat. There we go. There we go. And then we'll just hit it with this here just to finish it, just to smooth it over. So it's hotter than blazes here, and they've closed the woods. Our competition is on August the 21st, 22nd. Now we're worried they're going to shut that down. Can the competition. So we need some rain. We're going to do a rain dance. There. Much, much nicer. Okay. Other side. So again, it's lots long. Plenty long. Whisker longer than the old handle. We're with the grain the whole way on this side. It's nice, big, long strokes. Get to where you want to be a very lot faster. And you don't have to keep coming back up and making sure you're even the whole way along, because there's long strokes. Keep it even the whole way.
party this weekend. Old boy turned 60. Boys, now you know what? If I didn't know any better, I'd say that was maple. The way it's working, it works. This hard hickory's working an awful lot, looking an awful lot like maple. I know it isn't, but just very curious at how it looks like and feels like rock maple. There. Almost there now. Together with the shirt form, round out my handle end, and make it a little smaller. So I'm going to focus on getting in there more in this scoop part of this. That narrows your handle this way. Off the sides, that makes that so you can actually your handles squeeze up a little bit more for a smaller handed guy. There, so that'll be great for Peter. Much nicer. Take out all those ruts that the shirt form made. Amazing how much resembles maple. Had to look twice. It's a That's a good feeling. Each going to love it. It's a really nice feeling handle in the hands. There. Oh boy, that's a dandy. It's a dandy. We'll finish off this here as we're hanging it. But that's it there now. Beauty. A little bit of a bulge right there. A little bit of a bulge. Let's take that out before I forget it. Right there. There. Those big long strokes usually take that right out of there. Okay, so
so then we put in our jaws because we want to try to hang this thing. So the other thing, make sure because again this is rectangular, make sure it's sitting in your vise so it's parallel right here to the floor. Right there. Okay, that means it'll be square on with your handle. And then we'll check. Ooh, not much. It's almost right. So that's good. It's got a good big eye, which is great. So right here. So again, this is now 8-sided. So we're flat this way, we're flat this way, and then the corners are taken off. So right where this corner comes up to the flat here. That right there, which is where this comes in. Okay, that's where it comes in. That's where you need to do most of the work. Spend a fair bit of time taking that ridge off. Over a couple of strokes. Bring that down a bit. And of course, you got to round up the back. How close are we now? Not bad. A little more. Now remember, this has got a shoulder out this way, so you gotta work that. I usually don't have to worry about that on most of my handles. On the American filling action too. Make sure that flows right into the shoulder part of the handle. Okay, and then we'll flip it over. And remember, you always just want to get the head on, right? The goal is just to get the head on so you can line everything up. So that's what we're going to do. Grain is going the opposite way here. This way. We're almost where we need to be this way. So just take a little bit more on the other side, just to remember we just want her on. Almost. I am a hungry hippo. Okay, a little bit more at the front. Same thing on the other side.
goes in. Try her again. Don't do too much. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, there we are. We're on. Okay, almost on, but I can see it's holding up right here. So a couple strokes on this side. That'll just push it on a little bit farther for us. A couple more on this side. Right there. Okay. There. Now watch this. There we are. Okay. So we just want it on because we want to line up the bit with down there at the middle of the handle, which is perfect right there. And then we want to line up the toe, the heel, and the palm swell. Oh, perfect. Now, on a whisker. Not a lot, because we need to take a bunch off. Okay. So now, as I've told you before, once that comes off, this tells you everything. Okay, it says I'm squeezed here bad. Need to take some off of here, a little bit off of there, a little bit off of there. So the axe head will tell you exactly what you need to do. Again, once you line up the bit with the end, toe, heel, and palm swell, then the axe head will tell you where to take off. If it's not dragging, don't take it off. Okay, if it's white wood, don't touch it with your spoke shaver. So I know right now this is where it's grabbing here, and I'm going to go quite, about 3 or 4 inches here. I'm going to go down so that it'll slide down a little bit farther. There's a little bit of dragging here in the back, but only where it's dragging, nowhere else. Flop it over this way. Now, it's only dragging at the back here. It's white wood here, so I'm not going to touch there, but it's dragging here. So we're going to take a bunch more out right here. Now, see that? And every time it goes on, it'll slide that much smoother, that much farther. Check it again. Perfect that way still. Perfect that way. So if it's perfect, drive it around a little further. We're about halfway. Okay. So we just keep repeating this process. Don't be in too much of a hurry. If you're in too much of a hurry and you rush this, that's how you get a bad hang, and you want to wind up hanging it again in no time, because the handle will break. Okay, so again, we'll look at it. Wherever it's dark, that's where it's dragging. You see curl there, and it's dark all here, so that's great. And again, we're taking the same amount off both sides because it's lined up perfect. If it was off a little bit with the butt of the handle, then I had to move the head this way, I'd take the wood off on the inside. So again, and then because we're getting closer, I usually start smoothing things out down here. closer what it's going to look like there. A little bit more work on a... When you've got a shoulder like this, there's a lot more work to get it done so it flows one into the other. Same thing. And we'll smooth this out as well. Now, because it's concave in there, I'm using the rounded side of my rasp because it reaches in there really nice. Okay, how we're doing now. There we go, we're getting closer every time. Now, one thing I will say, this is a really pretty finished end, but it makes your tapping on very difficult because you're not hitting, it's not flat across the back here. Still get it on, just don't be in a panic. So we're almost 3/4 of the way on there now. So we're just about there. Now I want this to sit down here about 1.5 inches more. Okay, I want it resting just above this shoulder is where I'd like that. That's what gives you the best look. So again, see where we're dragging, both sides. That tells you what's got to come off. Try to scoop that out in here a little bit more with my sure form. I want that nice snug fit down there next to the bottom. Okay, so there's a lot of extra work down here close to the shoulder because of the pattern that this handle is. The American felling axe has got quite a shoulder here, and it takes a lot more work to get it fit well. There. Now if we had the same thing done on this other side, we're getting very close. very close, but we still don't want to rush it. No rush. Same, gouge it out here really well. Same thing with your sure form. Alright, let's try it again. There, she's through. She's through, but we want to sit her down a little bit more. So now the easiest way to get that out is to put it in here in your vise, like this. Okay? And then take your drift and start it right on the vise like that. 3 good smacks and she's usually clear. So we got a little bit more. She's squeezing just a little bit there. Take it down that last inch. We're going to want to clean that out as well. So now it's all about, now we're just finishing it. Same thing on this side. Again, we're just finishing off this. We're working in that dip down here. Try to get that to sit a little bit lower. this should be, hopefully, the last one sliding on. We should tap it right down to the base as far as we can get it. So where are we at? Not bad. Nice to have it down just a whisker more, because there's still a little bit of a gap. So I think we can getting a little bit there. There we go, right there. Okay, that's where we want it. Perfect. So now all I do, if I can find my knife, I don't see. Just going to trim right there, just a whisker, those two little whiskers right there. Bring them out with this. Yes, they're just hanging there. There. And then we want a wedge. Okay, we'll clean her off. Okay. So there it is. The American felling axe handle is split and maul. Very nice hang. Okay. So this head has got LC on it. I have no idea what that means, but anyways, that's what it says. LC right there. But it's a decent little axe, so he wants to put an edge on it. It's got the handle it needs now, so we're good to go. So that's hanging an American felling axe, which is an axe that has quite a shoulder on it. It takes a lot more work than what you typically put into what I typically put into hanging an axe head, because a lot of my axes don't have those big shoulders, and there's a reason for it, because it puts a strength in right at the base of the eye, not the strength in the length of the handle. So that's this week's video. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week.